Our political climate has been poisoned by the malign influence of a sinister opportunist who has deceived a wide swath of our nation into believing to their cores the most sick, twisted, and demented lies about love and charity and empathy and religion, democracy, patriotism, and truth itself. Before I start this video, I want to issue a content warning, not like a trigger warning. But, you know, it's a lot of people, they don't like when I curse or whatever because they watch videos at work and then they're not able to watch those videos at work. But I want to let you know, you're going to hear some vile language in this, or what people consider vile. I don't really care about the words or the invectives that are used, but I want to warn you that if you're at work or you got kids around and you're sensitive to curse words, harsh language, you might want to watch this later or not watch it all. Last year on April 30th, 2024, I did a video about 2 voicemails I received the day before, the morning before on April 29th. A threat of death, of murder against me. And the man called back, didn't think the first voicemail got his point across, so he called back and threatened sexual violence, threatened to rape and murder my wife, Brittany Page. Did a video about it, talked about it, got in touch with the FBI, alerted the authorities, and eventually we got to where we were yesterday, where I was in court on a video court session, face-to-face with the perpetrator, who we're going to call Mr. Defendant in this case. And that's where I want to start this. I'm conflicted between what my brain wants and what my heart is telling me. My brain says, out this guy, name this guy. There's no crime in naming him. In fact, I would be fully justified to give you the public details of the court case. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I still think there's somewhat of a chance of redemption for this character, for this man, Mr. Defendant. And I hope he finds within himself the empathy and the understanding that what he did was unhinged. It was dangerous. It violated my rights, my wife's rights. So I'm going to play these voicemails. And then I'm going to read a statement. I'm going to talk a little bit about political violence. And then I'm going to read a statement that I was going to read if I was allowed to in court. And ultimately, that wasn't the case. But he did receive penalty. He was sentenced. And again, I hope. Anyway, here's the voicemail. Here's the first voicemail that was sent at 11:19 a.m., April 29th, 2024. And again, brace yourself for the content.
You fucking piece of shit. You're fucking dead. You and your family, motherfucker. You're fucking dead.
Again, I'm okay with the invectives. I don't care. I don't care. A lot of people think I'm a fucking piece of shit. A lot of people think that I'm a motherfucker. But I should not be threatened. You're fucking dead. You and your family, motherfucker. You're fucking dead. Said this Trump supporter who watched a video of mine ostensibly, not ostensibly, this is what he told the cops. This is in the police report. He told the cop who called him to verify, and he said, yeah. And he said, something he said in a video upset me. So apparently, because we disagree about Donald Trump, let me also say this before I play this next one where he threatens to rape Brittany. A lot of people have said all kinds of stuff about Barack Obama and Joe Biden and politicians that I admire. I would never think, you know what I need to do? Call and threaten to murder them because they said Joe Biden was a Alzheimer's patient or a robot clone. I hate Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump, the world would be better off if Donald Trump was not here. The country would certainly be better off if he wasn't president. But I would never assert violence against Donald Trump. Ever. That's not the way things should be. Here's the second voicemail where not only he has threatened me, but now my wife, who didn't appear in the video that he watched.
Your wife is an ugly fucking cunt. We're gonna rape that fucking ugly bitch and kill her, you cocksucker.
Your wife is an ugly fucking cunt, he says. While apparently a child is in his lap, I heard the murmurings of the child on the video in court yesterday. So there's a child involved here. Your wife is an ugly fucking cunt. We're going to rape that fucking ugly bitch and kill her, you cocksucker. Because I am an opponent politically of Donald Trump. Because I hate Donald Trump. Because I accurately talk about Donald Trump being a danger, a clear and present danger, and a fascist. He's going to rape and kill my wife. Again, I don't want to be over dramatic about it, but I don't know that you can be overly dramatic about this, right? This is the world Donald Trump has brought upon us. I'm going to read it from a poll that was taken in 2023 about political violence. And they've only actually done this poll. Here, I'll just read this under the graph here. Nearly a quarter of Americans agree that, quote, patriots may have to resort to violence in order to save our country. The most in nearly 3 years, the question has been asked since Donald Trump's presidency, a new survey says. This wasn't even a question that was asked before Donald Trump. He predicated the need to seek this information in polling. And his unhinged, as evidenced by this gentleman, Mr. Defendant, is part of this. He believes that the way to save the nation, ostensibly, I guess, is to administer violence and sexual violence against women who are not involved at all in the videos that I've done. So fantastic. Great. Good job, Mr. Defendant. Again, I'm not going to name him. I'm not going to out him. I would feel weird about that. Using my platform, small as it may be, to harm him and his family. And now, once I found out his name, I know all about him. Know all about his wife and her business and her Etsy store and all of that. But I'm not going to do to him what he's done to me. Here's what I would have said in court if given the opportunity. In the days following the threats against us, we lived in uncertainty and with anxiety about whether this person was going to show up at our home to follow through on his threats. Why would we think someone who was so unconcerned about accountability that he called us from his personal phone number? Again, I blurred his phone number. I blurred his name. I'm protecting him. I'm doing something for him he did not do for me. So why would we think that he was so unconcerned about it? Why would we think that he wouldn't be up to the task of following through on murdering me and raping and murdering Brittany? I hope that Mr. Defendant will reflect upon his actions and consider that people who disagree with him and their political views about Donald Trump shouldn't be murdered or raped by him. Pretty basic stuff, right? I'm pleased that action is being taken in this case and that there are some penalties for Mr. Defendant. While part of me is disheartened that there aren't more serious consequences for threatening murder and sexual violence against my wife and me, another part of me truly feels sadness for Mr. Defendant, the now sentenced defendant. Our political climate has been poisoned by the malign influence of a sinister opportunist who has deceived a wide swath of our nation into believing to their cores the most sick, twisted, and demented lies about love and charity and empathy and religion, democracy, patriotism, and truth itself. I hope for Mr. Defendant to seek some sense of peace and contentment within himself, resting confident that he and his wife are safe from the threat of rape and murder for simply exercising their constitutional rights to speak against the political power structure. See how easy that was, Mr. Defendant? That's all you had to do, brother. Read a statement, start a YouTube channel. exercise your First Amendment right to speak out against opinions you disagree with, to counter my bad ideas with good ideas, with better ideas, with more workable ideas. Again, I don't care about the invectives. I get called all kinds of names via voicemail and email on a daily basis, on an almost daily basis from Trump people on social media, elsewhere. I don't care about that. You have a right to call me every name that you want. You don't have a right to try to force me to live in fear because I disagree with Donald Trump, or I call Donald Trump names, or I'm mean to the dear leader. So I'm thankful that in this case, the FBI did its job, that the Metropolitan Washington Police Department here did its job and investigated this and brought this individual to justice. And I hope it's a signal in a political age where political violence is becoming more normal that there will be consequence for this. I don't have a lot of hope for that, given that Donald Trump just pardoned 1,600 domestic terrorists who attempted to overthrow the United States government. But I'd love to know what you think. Brittany Page is also going to do a video about this today. I don't know what she's going to say. She's going to talk about her experience with it. She'll probably go into more detail about the case, citing the police report and such. I don't know if she'll name him. Maybe. We haven't talked about it. I didn't want what I did today and what I talked about today to be influenced by what she's doing. So check out her channel. If you haven't subscribed to her channel, go subscribe to her channel. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe here. Support independent media. Look, I'm not the only one getting death threats. I'm not the only one being threatened with murder and rape of my family because of the views I hold and the things that I say on YouTube. Support independent media. I know Pacman gets his fair share of threats, and Farron Cousins has been going through a lot of drama relative to Trump trolls doxing him, making threats against his family, harassing and stalking. Support these people. What do you think? Comment below. Support this channel that way. You can also call the voicemail line just like this guy did, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Did I miss anything? I don't think I did. I love and appreciate you. Thank you for standing by me. Thank you for supporting me and, by extension, and hopefully directly, Brittany Page on her channel. You people are great. I will see you next time. As always, be genuine and take care of one another.